She filled out the grant form at our kitchen table like it was a grocery list. I glanced over her shoulder and saw the line. Partner provides housing, transport, and daily needs. My name, my work, my hours, my bank account turned into one sentence under budget. You serious? I asked. It's accurate, Lauren answered without looking up. You cover everything anyway. So I'm a line item now? It's not personal. It's funding language. I built the house, pay the mortgage, keep your studio lights on. That's not language. That's my life. She capped the pen. Why are you making this an issue? This is how grant panels read things. Clean, simple. You'll cover it. If I'd known where it was headed, I would have packed a bag that night. But I was still the man who thought patience pays off. I set a mug on the counter. Then let's be clean and simple. After this month, we split the budget. Studio rent is on the grant. Separate cards. Separate accounts. That's extreme, she said. It's accurate. She breathed out through her nose. We can talk after I submit. You can submit now, I said, sliding the laptop back to her. And you can plan around the new rules. I didn't raise my voice. I don't do volume. I do calendars and numbers. Lauren's face shifted to that polite glaze she used at opening nights. We have the gallery event Friday, she said. Renee expects both of us. She expects the collection delivered. You can go. I'll meet you there later. Short appearance. That's not supportive, she muttered. Support is lumber and invoices. I've got both. She clicked submit and turned the screen away from me like a closed door. You said you believe in my work. I do, I replied. That's why I'm protecting it from turning into a drain labeled partner. You're twisting this. I opened my email and typed, starting next cycle, new budget. Studio rent from grant or personal funds. Household costs split. Cards reissued. I copied myself on my work address. No smoke, no drama, just a memo with a date. She watched me type. You love making rules. I love not being a subscription. You're being punitive. I'm being clear. The front door opened. Our neighbor, Mrs. Ellis, stepped in halfway with a casserole pan. I'm not interrupting anything, am I? Not at all, I told her. Just figuring out how to pay for paint. Lauren took the pan, managed a smile, and laughed in that way meant for an audience. He's teasing. He funds me like a foundation. Not anymore, I said, and put my phone on the table between us. We're updating the bylaws. Mrs. Ellis blinked. All right then. Well, good luck at the gallery. Lauren shot me a look the second the door closed. Why would you say that in front of someone? Because I don't do secrets around money. That was the free notice. The next one is a password change. She rolled her eyes. You can't keep moving goalposts. I put the goal where it should have been. Fine, she said. Be stubborn. Friday, be at the gallery at 7. No speeches about budgets. I'll be on time, I told her, gathering the grant papers into a neat stack and sliding them back. And I'll be brief. Renee's gallery sat in a strip of converted warehouses, tall white walls, and too cold air. I walked in at 7:15 with a box of printed bios I'd paid for. Lauren floated across the room in a black dress that probably had a designer name I didn't know. She slipped her arm through mine like everything at home had been a misunderstanding. There you are, she said for the crowd. My rock. Your line item, I murmured. She ignored it. Come meet Jake, she added, guiding me through a knot of people to a guy in a blazer who shook my hand like he wanted to test it for fractures. Jake's been advising me, Lauren said. He's plugged in with private donors. Nice to meet you, Jake said. I'm excited about Lauren's direction. That makes one of us, I replied. Lauren pinched my elbow, still smiling. Ignore him. He's allergic to compliments. I'm allergic to bills disguised as opportunities, I said. Renee swooped in with her business smile. You made it, Daniel. The series looks incredible on the north wall. It does, I agreed. And the lighting we bought helps. Renee's eyes flicked to Lauren, then to me. Well, yes. Thank you for that. Jake raised a glass. Lauren's talent will attract the right backing. You'll see a shift soon. Shift is a good word, I told him. We're shifting to a written plan. Studio costs from grants, household split. I kept my tone even and just loud enough for the semicircle around us. No more unfunded commitments. Lauren's smile thinned. This is not the place. It's exactly the place, I said, taking a card from my pocket. Renee, here's the invoice number for lighting and printing. Mark them paid by me. Future invoices to Lauren. Renee hesitated. We can work that out later. We're working it out now, I said. I like clarity. Jake leaned in. You know, some people here invest because they believe. They don't ask for receipts. I believe, I said, which is why I protect the assets that keep the lights on. Lauren's fingernails nudged my wrist. Enough. Enjoy your night, I said to Renee, then to Jake, good luck advising. It's all fun until the first electric bill. I handed the box of bios to a volunteer and stepped toward the exit. Lauren followed, heels sharp across the concrete floor. You humiliated me, she hissed near the door. No, I answered. I ended a gray area. Publicly. So there's no he never told me. You don't get to dictate my career. Nor do you get to dictate my wallet. We're partners. Partners share load. Not just credit. She set her jaw. Go home. I'll finish my show without your commentary. I'm grabbing the spare keys before I go, I said. I'll give you one back when we have the new plan in writing. You can't just. I simply opened my palm. She dug in her clutch, slapped the keys there like I'd asked for her phone. I nodded and left. The next morning she went domestic. Apron, pancakes, coffee, the whole peace treaty. I overreacted, she said, sliding a plate to me. The budget thing threw me. Of course we can put it in writing. That's the idea. I'll add you to credits on the site. Supported by Daniel West Logistics. I don't need my name on anything, I told her, stabbing a pancake. I need you paying your studio rent from your funds. And I need the car title staying where it is. Obviously, she said. You bought it for me. But it's still legally yours, that's fine. We'll sign a simple use agreement. I'll send it. She poured coffee like a truce flag. You've been under pressure at the shop. I get it. I'm fine, I said. I want us to work, and for that we need adult rules. She nodded. I'll meet you halfway. By lunch I had an email from a law office I'd never heard of, making noises about equitable interest and contribution to value. The message requested a constructive conversation about asset sharing. I forwarded it to myself, sat back in my office at the warehouse, and looked at the ceiling. Halfway, huh? I called Lauren, who decided to involve an attorney. It's normal, she said. Consultation. We're aligning expectations. We have alignment. You pay your studio rent. You're being rigid, she replied. It's not just about rent. It's about recognition. Recognition is easy. You're good. This lawyer fishing trip isn't. That's unfair. Then stop it. There's nothing to stop. We're just gathering facts. Here's a fact, I said. We closed the joint card Friday. I'll Venmo for shared groceries until you have your own card. Studio expenses, your lane. You're punishing me again. I'm taking away a toy I shouldn't have bought. You're not the only one making decisions, she said. Good. Make one. Choose what you'll pay. She hung up on my words. I added a calendar reminder. Friday, close joint card. And I added a name under checklist. I'd started the day before, Jake. If he was advising, I wanted to see what advice he liked giving. Work suits me. I run a logistics outfit, 2 small warehouses, 5 trucks, 22 people who prefer instructions over speeches. At 3, my floor manager Sam stuck his head into my office. She called, he said. Lauren asked if she could use a truck to move canvases tonight. Schedule says we're full. I told her that. What did she say? She said, he'll make it happen. I turned my monitor so Sam could see my calendar. We've got deliveries until 7. If she needs a truck, she can book it like everyone else next week. And she pays. Want me to call back? I'll text her, I said, and typed. Book transport via site. Staff can't break route tonight. Rate, $X. Payment before pickup. She replied. If I had the budget, why would I be applying for a grant? Be supportive. We are supportive, I texted. We offer service. We invoice. Sam leaned on the doorframe. You good? I'm good. At 5, the door to my office opened without a knock. Lauren walked in with a paper bag and a smile like a bandage. I brought dinner, she said, setting the bag on my desk. You haven't eaten. Sam stayed put. She saw him and brightened. Sam, you're a lifesaver. Could one of the guys swing by and help me load 6 pieces? Sam glanced at me. I answered. Schedule's tight. It won't take long, she said softly. 20 minutes. I'll tip. We don't tip, I said. We invoice. Sam cleared his throat. I'll go check on Bay 3. He left, and the room felt smaller. She opened the bag. Your favorite. Turkey Club. This isn't a bribe, is it? It's called care, Daniel. I appreciate the sandwich, I said, sliding the bag back. Eat with me. Her shoulders dropped a fraction. I miss you when you go into spreadsheet mode. I miss us when you go into entitlement mode. She blinked, recalibrating. I'm trying. I talked to Renee about a formal agreement on sales splits. It's good, right? It is. I also want a written note that lighting and printing were my purchase, not galleries. Fine. We'll write it. And I want confirmation you're not using my last name in grant pitches as if my company's a sponsor. She looked annoyed. It helps to show stability. It's my name, I said. Ask before you use it. Noted, she said. You're getting cold. We're supposed to be a team. A team shares playbook. We do, she said. My phone buzzed on the desk, Mrs. Ellis. I let it go to voicemail. A minute later, a text lit the screen. She'd sent a photo from across the street earlier that afternoon. Lauren stepping into a white sedan I didn't recognize with Jake holding the door. Caption: Thought you knew him? New assistant. Lauren reached for the bag again. I'll heat it. Who's giving you rides now? I asked. A friend. Name him. You don't control my friends. I control access to my assets, I said. And to my time. She set the bag down slowly. This is exhausting. Then sleep, I said. With a calendar. We're cutting the joint card Friday. Studio side on you. I heard you. She hesitated, then tried one more soft tone. Can we reset? It's us. We're strong. We are until we're not, I said. That night, I put the spare keys I'd taken in a desk drawer at home, changed the pin on the joint card, and placed a folder labeled Exit on the shelf in my closet. And I went to bed thinking about calculus. How to close angles before they turn into traps. The next week dragged without improving. Lauren posted a photo of herself in front of a half-finished piece with a caption about pushing through without support. She sent 2 emails about clarifying ownership of vehicles used for artistic work. She dropped hints about others who value the vision. At home, she moved like a guest who doesn't wash dishes. Wednesday morning, I found a stack of new canvases in the garage with a sticky note. Need these by Friday. No, please. No, thanks. I stuck a new note next to it. Invoice attached. Pickup available after payment. She replied with a single line. You're punishing. No, I thought. I'm practicing. I planned a quiet weekend. Workout, paperwork, lunch with my friend Troy, who runs a small mortgage office and talks in blunt sentences. We met at a diner off the highway. She's setting a narrative, Troy said after I showed him the attorney email and her posts. Get ahead of it. I am, I said. You're too polite, he said. You've spent 2 years being the sponsor, even if you didn't call it that. She's not going to return the favors. She's going to lock them in. I already started the split. Do it all the way, Troy said. Stop the autopays, freeze the add-on cards, list out what's yours. Keep it simple. Feels like a declaration of war. It's a declaration of you, he said. And do it before an anniversary, a birthday, any date she can weaponize. I smiled without humor. Anniversary is Friday. Troy frowned. Then move now. I drove home with his words in my head. At the mailbox, I pulled out a fat envelope from another law office and a glossy postcard from the gallery. The envelope went to my desk unopened. The postcard had Lauren's newest piece with the caption, New Patron Circle Forming. DM to join. I flipped it to the back. No mention of me. That part one liked. Friday morning. Our anniversary. Lauren was already gone when I woke up. The house was cleaner than usual and quiet in a way that felt staged. I made coffee, checked my calendar, and texted her. Dinner at 7 at the place on 3rd. If you want. No response. At 5, I stopped at the florist because I'm not petty, bought simple flowers, and drove home to change. I opened the door to an echo. The couch was gone. Her easel gone. Her closet, empty hangers. The phone buzzed as I stood in the doorway. A text. I found another, it read. Please don't make this messy. I stared at it for a long second. Then I typed, as you wish. And then I got to work. I drove straight to the shop. Sam met me at the door. You look like you fired a client. I accepted a resignation, I said. I need you and Carla in the office. We sat at the conference table. I slid the exit folder between us. First, I said, freeze the authorized users on the cards. All of them. Today. Done. Carla said, typing. Second, close the joint checking. Transfer the remaining balance to the business payroll for now. I'll separate it properly after. Carla nodded. Third, I need a list of any auto pays to Lauren's studio or the gallery. Cancel them. Sam whistled under his breath. Rough day. It's a day, I said. Also, draft a note from me to Renee. Effective immediately, I withdraw any implied patronage. Lighting and printing remain my property. Attached are invoices. Delivery van used for gallery or Lauren stops unless booked and prepaid. Cold, Sam said. Clean, I corrected. I called the bank manager I'd known for years. Need the add-on card locked now and confirmation sent to this email. Understood, she said. I emailed DMV to remove Lauren as an authorized user on the car I kept in my name, and I scheduled a pickup for the second vehicle, the one I'd purchased for her use, because the loan and title were mine. I lined up a locksmith for the morning. I texted Lauren, your personal items will be moved to storage unit 18 at Northside. You'll get the code. Pickup window is Saturday 10 to 2 with ID. No other access. She responded immediately. You're being cruel. No, I typed. I'm being done. The car is mine, she wrote. Title says otherwise. It's our anniversary, she added, as if the calendar could be a leash. I didn't reply. I don't negotiate with dates. By 9, I had the keys to a rented storage unit and a moving crew scheduled. By 10, I had a message from Renee. I'm sorry to hear this. Confirming receipt. We'll mark invoices as yours and adjust credit lines on the website. Translation, she'd seen this movie. At 11, I got a text from an unknown number. I'm speaking for Lauren now, it said. Let's keep this civil. She has rights. Then she can exercise them with her own counsel. I wrote back. All communications via email only. I dropped my office address, then blocked the number. I slept at the shop that night on the old couch in the break room and woke up before 5. At 7, I met the movers at the house. We boxed clothes, brushes, everything clearly hers. I labeled each box like a warehouse order. LK, personal. I left the art she'd completed and left the gift items from me. Books, small things that didn't matter. The couch I'd bought went to storage. At 10, I sent Lauren the code and a copy of the inventory sheet. She replied with a screenshot of a social post. Her standing with Jake in a bright studio I didn't recognize, captioned, New chapter, new support, grateful for those who show up. I texted back a copy of the car pickup schedule. Vehicle at 2 p.m. Have keys ready. You can't do this. My attorney. Email only. I replied and muted the thread. The fallout came fast. Renee called Monday morning. I got a message from Jake, she said. He asked for a list of your contributions like he's building a case. Also, he's been telling people he'll sponsor the next show, but his checks bounce. He was removed from 2 donor lists last year. Good to know, I said. I'm not telling you this to gossip, Renee added. I depend on real support. I'm not going to lean on a mirage. I'll send a formal note confirming my withdrawal and property claims, I said. Good luck to the mirage. At lunch, Sam paused at my door. Lauren posted a story saying you abandoned her and cut off her tools. Comments are a mess. I don't read fiction during business hours, I said. You need to say something? I don't chase crowds, I told him. I document. He grinned. You're colder than the freezer at Bay 2. Clarity keeps food fresh. That afternoon, my friend Troy walked in. Saw the posts, he said. You owe me a beer for being right. Put it on my tab. Quick question, the condo. It's in your name? Yes. Put it in writing that her occupancy was always permissive, he said. Then change the locks, which you did. If anyone asks, you notified and stored her stuff with an inventory. It's boring and correct. Boring and correct is my brand. He looked out the window at my trucks moving in their lines. How are you, actually? I prefer rooms that don't change shape mid-conversation. Good, he said. Keep it that way. At 6, I got an email from Lauren. The subject line, this is not you. The body, you can be reasonable. We can divide things calm. Can I come by? We can talk face to face. The tone was syrup. I replied, inventory attached. You have pickup window Saturday. Email only. She answered with a heart emoji. Then, I'll bring coffee for everyone. No need. 2 hours later, another email arrived from a different attorney. This one had phrases like compensatory share and customary expectation based on cohabitation. I sent the same reply I'd used for the first. No attached. Receipts, titles, invoices, dates. No adjectives. Wednesday, she showed up at my office anyway. Sam met her at the door. He's in a meeting, Sam said. I can wait, she said. Sam pointed at the sign I'd taped to the inside glass. No walk-ins. Email for appointments. She's not a walk-in, Lawrence said. She's family. Sam didn't move. He changed the rules. She waited in her car for 20 minutes. I could see the silhouette in the front lot, the phone raised, maybe recording a new chapter of the story. Then she drove away. 10 minutes later, a text from an unknown number. Be careful. Jake is not what he sells. The sender was Renee. I wrote back, understood. His fund is a P.O. box and a spreadsheet, she added. He preys on eager artists. He'll use her posts to boost himself, then disappear when the bills arrive. Good to know, I wrote again. Also, Renee said, some of our circle feel uncomfortable. The narrative's shifting. Let it shift, I replied. I slept well for the first time in weeks. 2 days later, Lauren tried another angle. She emailed a long note with lines about history, compassion. We can still be us, even if logistics change. She attached a photo of the first piece she ever sold, taken in our old apartment, and wrote, remember this? You believed first. I stared at it for a minute. Then I wrote, I believed in you. I still do. That belief doesn't make me a resource you control. Then I attached a spreadsheet, dates, amounts, notes, everything I provided for her career and our home. I ended with, this is not an invoice. It's a record. We're done. Don't say done. She wrote back in under a minute. You're being dramatic. I'm being clear. Saturday came. At 10, a storage facility employee called me. There's a woman here for Unit 18, he said. She's upset. Give her the boxes, I said. If she wants to leave anything, store it for 1 week, then dispose. Boring and correct. By noon I got a text from an unknown number. He's not what I thought, it said. No name, but I recognized the rhythm. Can we talk? Email only. He said he would sponsor a residency. Came the next text. There is no residency. He lied. I don't fix that, I wrote. I'm scared. Then go where you feel safe, I said. It's not here. No emoji came after. The last confrontation happened on neutral ground. We both got invited to a small fundraiser at a community arts center where Lauren had spoken last year. I almost skipped it, but I run a business in this city. I show up when it matters. She saw me near the coffee table and straightened like a stage light found her. She walked over with Jake 2 steps behind, hands in his blazer pockets. This is awkward, she said. It is not, I replied. Awkward is when you spill soup. This is resolved. Jake nodded at me like we were old peers. Things got heated. Let's be adults. I am one, I said. What are you? A couple of donors drifted within earshot. Renee hovered near, not intruding, but present. Lauren tried a softer look. We can fix our narrative, she said. Together. You broke it, I said. Publicly. You get to live with what you created. I was under pressure. So was I said. I didn't recruit a replacement and use your posts to advertise it. Jake raised a hand. Let's not turn this into a spectacle. You did, I said, eyes on Lauren. When you wrote that I was a line item. She flinched, just once. That wasn't about you. It was exactly about me, which is why I pulled the plug. Renee stepped a foot closer, voice low but firm. We've adjusted credit lines and sponsorship notes, Lauren. Going forward, anything that implies backing must be documented. That's not personal. That's policy. Lauren looked at Renee like a door had closed. You're taking his side. I'm taking the side of invoices, Renee said. Jake smirked. We'll build a new network. Good, I said. Use your own wallet. Lauren's tone sharpened. You're trying to ruin me. I'm trying to free me. She inhaled. You can't take the car. It's my ability to work. It's my asset, I said. Your work is yours. You abandoned me, she said. No, I replied. You left. You wrote it down. A donor I knew from the Chamber of Commerce, a quiet guy named Haru, stepped closer and addressed Jake. I heard you offered a match for the center's equipment last year. Jake flashed teeth. We're finalizing details. Haru nodded slowly. We never got it. We stopped counting it. Conversations around us shifted. Renee met my eyes and gave the smallest nod. The room wasn't on her side anymore. Lauren's mask slipped. Can we talk in private? She asked. No, I said. New rule, nothing private. Email only. You're not the man I met, she whispered. I said. You just thought my boundaries were for decoration. Renee, gentle but steady, touched Lauren's elbow. Let's step aside. They did. Jake lingered just long enough to throw me a look that meant nothing. He walked out with his phone already to his ear. Troy found me by the water cooler. And that, he said, is what a narrative shift looks like. Let it be. Are you relieved? I'm empty, I said. It's temporary. He nodded. You kept it boring and correct. I signed one more piece of paper the following week. A notice that occupancy at my condo was my decision alone, that I'd secured her belongings and provided access to pick them up, that further property discussions would be documented, not negotiated over dinner. I emailed it to her and CC'd my own file. No add-ons. No dramatics. A day later, Mrs. Ellis caught me in the hallway with a grocery bag. She moved back to her folks, she said in that soft way people use for bad news. I'm sorry. Me too, I said. I wasn't. I was sorry it took so long to say no. Sam asked if I wanted the couch back in the break room. I told him to keep it. Carla brought a plant to the office that I didn't water. The trucks kept rolling. Paychecks went out on Fridays like always. My life simplified into lists I could check off. I bought a used pickup from a guy I trusted, cash, title in my safe. I turned the second bedroom into a quiet space for myself. I took a weekend trip with friends to a lake where the phone reception is terrible. I learned what the kitchen sounds like when no one narrates over it. Then, because life insists on being lived, I met someone. Her name is Claire, a nurse who hates small talk and takes her coffee black. We met at a volunteer thing my company supports every quarter, loading food boxes into trunks. She didn't know anything about galleries or donor circles. She knew how to wrap a wrist and how to listen. I didn't launch into my history. I told her I work with trucks and schedules and that I like being on time. She said, me too. One night, Claire and I drove past the old gallery on the way to a movie. The north wall looked bare from the street. The show had ended. I didn't slow down. A week later, I opened my email and saw a message from Lauren with no subject. I'm sorry, it read. Jake disappeared. I misjudged. I'm staying at my parents' for now. I need some time. I typed 2 letters. Okay. Then deleted them. I wrote, I hope you find what you're looking for. Then I attached the last piece of documentation she didn't have, a final ledger of the household split, dates, amounts, balances at 0. She answered, we could talk someday. No, I replied. We're past talk. I added one final line because closure isn't a feeling for me. It's a statement. I wish you clarity. Then I archived the thread. A month later, she posted a photo of a backyard at her parents' place that I recognized from a barbecue years ago. No hashtags, no captions about support or journeys. Just a lawn chair and a mug. I didn't click like. On a Saturday in early spring, Claire and I walked out of a hardware store with a bag of house things. We loaded the pickup, and she asked, you ready for coffee? Always, I said. As we drove, I thought about the grant form that turned me into a budget line. I thought about the night I replied, as you wish. I thought about what I lost and what I kept. A house with quiet floors, a business that pays people on time, a spine that doesn't bend for applause. I didn't win by breaking someone. I won by ending my part in being broken. Before we got on the main road, I swung by the storage unit to drop off a box of studio tools I'd forgotten I owned. The manager recognized me. Unit 18? He asked. Not anymore, I said. Empty it. He stamped a form and handed me a copy. I put it in the glove compartment next to the car title and a photo of me and the crew at the warehouse barbecue. Claire reached across and squeezed my hand once. Simple, quiet. Let's go, she said. We did.